It's raining. That's kind of how you want Scotland to be, right? You want it to be moody, you want it to be gray a little bit. Kind of plays into the ambiance. I'll be here for the next 4 nights exploring Edinburgh. So I just popped into a cute little pub just to get like a little snack. I really haven't eaten much today, and it's kind of like in between meals right now, so it's a little to find a restaurant that's open. Yum. That was so good. All right, but they're closing. I gotta go. I'm gonna check out the touristy street. Can't remember what it's called. I think it's like the Mile, Golden Mile, Miracle Mile, something like that. When I was doing my research for Scotland, one of the things that I heard over and over again is when you're walking around to look up, because the buildings are tall and they are absolutely stunning. So I guess I should answer the question, like, why did I come up to Edinburgh? Why am I in Scotland? I actually don't have a house sit for the next like 5 days, and I could go to my the next house sit a little early. She said I could hang out at their place, which would be nice. It would save me a lot of money. I have to remind myself that it's okay to be a tourist again. It's okay to take time and go see some places that I've always wanted to see, like Scotland. I'm here playing tourist. I am still working, so I am kind of working with a limited availability, but we'll make the most of it as I usually do. So just kind of walking around, and I found myself at the Greyfriars Kirkland cemetery. And I don't always like to visit cemeteries. It's not a big draw for me, although it's really cool to see, you know, headstones with birth and death years in like the 1600s, because I don't really see that in the States unless you're in very specific areas. And so just kind of thinking how old this place is so cool. And there's a few famous people buried here, or at least have headstones here. So J.K. Rowling, the author for the Harry Potter series, did a lot of her work and did a lot of her writing, got a lot of her inspiration here in Edinburgh. There's like Harry Potter themed tours you can go on, but one of the cool things is in this cemetery there are 2 graves that she kind of borrowed the names from for some of the characters. So there is a McGonagall grave and then the Thomas Riddle grave. So I don't think this is where they filmed anything. I think it's just where she got name inspiration. I'm not sure why, but one of my favorite things to do when I come to Europe is to go to like recitals or concerts in the big cathedrals. There's just something about being in the huge cathedral with all the sound reverberating and bouncing off of everything, the acoustics just being phenomenal. So I found out that the St. Giles Cathedral, which is literally right outside my hostel front door, has like Sunday night concerts. You couldn't record any of the concert, obviously. Now I'm walking to hopefully get a good Sunday dinner and then head back to the hostel because I am beat. Although I'm gonna get even more exhausted because Scotland is all hills, or at least Edinburgh is. Well, I think I found a local spot. I walked downhill the entire way, so getting back is gonna be super fun. Looked like a cool spot. They stopped serving food at 6, so looks like I'm gonna go find someplace else. Like literally on the other side of town. All right, let's try this place. Okay, so that all happened super fast, so let me back it up a little bit. So I had gotten a local recommendation for a pub that served a really good Sunday roast. That was something that I was really wanting to get. The place looked legit, like it was a mile out of the old town, so I knew that it was gonna be pretty local, or at least not like a big tourist trap. I got there, they're super friendly, they're like welcoming me in. I was like, it's my first day in town, and they're like, oh, shots all around. And I said, hey, are you still serving food? And they said, no, our kitchen closed at 6. And I was like, all right, cool. And she said, okay, but if you go down this street and you turn left, like there's a ton of options. I said, fantastic. So I literally stopped at the first place that just looked really good, and it looked like they had not the Sunday roast that I was wanting, but it was a Sunday roast. It was like a lemon confit chicken. And I was like, oh, it sounds so good. You know, they set me in the room. I have this cute little like corner table, and it looks awesome. Like they've got American football on, they've got tennis on. There's a ton of people there. I go to order dinner and she said, oh, we're out of the chicken. I was like, oh no. So I took a look, ended up getting the soup of the day, which was a confit garlic and mushroom soup with a little bit of bread, which was so good. So good. I can still taste the garlic. That's how good it was. And then I got a shepherd's pie with vegetables because shepherd's pie just sounded really good tonight. So instead of hoofing it back a mile uphill, I walked through this cute little like alleyway, not even alleyway really, to the bus stop. I missed it by like 2 seconds, so I'm just waiting another 10 minutes, and it's gonna take me like down the street from the hostel. So all in all, a fantastic first night in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, got up with the sun so I could come out and check out a couple fun viewpoints this morning, and I'm so happy I did. And the sun's out. Well, like now I'm walking in the shade, but I have a few hours this morning. I wanted to come check out a few of these viewpoints before the crowds hit, and then a few more places before my shift starts today. I heard a saying once that it's good to get up early when you're on vacation to go check out a few things, not get them out of the way, but go see them before all the crowds start, because even though your body might be protesting getting up so early, you won't remember it. So after a fun little breakfast, this cute little cafe that I found, I hopped on a bus. Now I'm gonna go check out the National Museum of Scotland because it's free and the building looks super cool. When I was in high school, I took an AP European history class, and I just remember not liking it at all. I couldn't remember all the Charleses, all the Jameses, Marys, and coming here and like trying to keep everybody straight is like essentially refreshing my memory of, you know, who are the Jacobites and Charles the 7th and Charles the 8th and James the 3rd and all these. It's really hard to keep them all straight. But it's fun being in a place where literally like these walls are just breathing history. Lift was out of order. From work, I needed to go find some food because I really hadn't eaten since breakfast this morning. And the downside of staying in like the old town, the center of Old Town, is you don't actually want to eat in the center of Old Town. So I like was running around because I saw a place that like sold pies, and I was like, that sounds pretty good. And like I was on my way there, and I was like, oh my goodness, I remember a spot from yesterday that I saw that sold pizza by the slice. So I had 2 slices of pizza and a can of soda for 8 pounds, which is, I don't know, like $10-ish. And so I'm just walking back to my hostel, and this cute kid is playing the bagpipes. And my own personal theory is, if a busker is good enough that I want to stop and listen or record, I will tip them. And of course then he starts playing Praise of the Man, which I can't share because I'll get flagged. But anyway, it was awesome. What a fun little break from work. I gotta plan this better though, because I was like starving. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I also want to note how many more people there are out and about right now. Granted, it's like prime time at 6 p.m. on a Monday compared to, I don't remember what time I got up, like 7:30 when I was running around. It's worth it to get up, especially if you're gonna go look at some of the, you know, famous sites, the historic sites. It's awesome, but I can't believe how blue the sky is and how sunny it is right now. It's getting chilly, but I'll take it. I love it. Trying to dodge all the tour groups that are like congregating in this area, which is kind of funny because my tour group will be doing the same. Woke up pretty early again this morning to go check out this cute little bakery slash coffee shop that I saw all over Instagram. It was delicious. I had a plum and cardamom and pistachio pastry with, or Danish, with a cinnamon sugar cruffin, I think it's what you call it, and then a white hot chocolate. So I love white chocolate. I'm not a huge fan of dark chocolate, and it was really interesting because it's the first time I've ever had a white hot chocolate before. That was delicious. I enjoyed the town a little bit before all the tour groups started showing up, like right now. And then I checked out the Writers Museum, which focuses on Robert Louis Stevenson, Sir Walter Scott, and Robert Burns. And that was so cool because it's in this like super old time mansion that was like one of the biggest mansions back in like I think the late 1700s, this close to the castle. So that was really cool, and it smelled like an old mansion. So now I'm just getting ready to meet my tour group because I am doing a food tour. That's right, I am doing a food tour in Edinburgh, and you know I'm eating the haggis.
And when they walk past the gates, they will spit on them. Inside of the decorations, the way they built it, it's all shivering, and it's such a hearty, warming meal to start with. You can go to pretty much recently, especially in this part of the city.
After a fun and delicious food tour yesterday, I literally booked it back to my hostel so I could log in a few hours from work, and then I passed out hard. I was so exhausted. So today starts my last full day in Edinburgh. So this morning before work, I'm gonna go check off a few more things that I've wanted to do, such as check out Victoria Street again. Our guide told us that the buildings are painted different colors because people back in the day couldn't read, but they knew which color their guild was or which color meant a specific type of trade. place is normally packed, so early morning's the best. Obviously, like, nothing's open on the street, but it's a good way to get your pictures in and kind of see what they have. I'll be back because there's a place here that I want to check out at 10 o'clock when they open. So fun start last night, yesterday, our guide was telling us that a lot of these pubs and places are named because of the purpose that they served. So this pub behind me, the Last Drop, was where they would allegedly take prisoners right before they were hung, right there. My guide also said that one of the reasons why Scots people are so nice is to kind of make up for the brutality from the last couple hundred years. That was just his opinion. I've seen a lot of castles in my time. This one's pretty impressive. I think also just like the angle that we're at, having to like look up at it, pretty impressive. One of the desserts that we had yesterday on our food tour is called a cranachan, and it's a very traditional Scottish dessert where it's like a lot of like whipped cream, fresh raspberry coulis, fresh raspberries, and like toasted oats with whiskey. And the donut shop has a cranachan donut. I'm gonna try it. It's very heavy, and I'm pretty sure it's a filled donut. Oh my gosh. The thing is massive. Oh, it matches. Oh. I think it's filled with cream. Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Didn't get any cream with that. My first impression is this is probably one of the best donuts I've had in Europe. Actually, since I've been away from Salt Lake and LA, where I know where the good donut places are. But it's pretty good. I'm saying that because it's got the toasted oats on it, it's kind of healthy. And the good news about donuts is they don't have to be refrigerated, so I'm gonna snack on these all day. I'm not eating this all right now. That's way too much sugar. So Old Town consists primarily, like the main tourist spot is the Royal Mile, which is a 1.7 kilometer stretch of like touristy stuff, and it's bookended on either end by two different castles. The top is the Castle of Edinburgh, and on the other end where I'm at now is the Palace of Holyrood House. Now I don't know really like much about it. I'm not gonna go inside because I don't want to pay for it, so I'm just gonna check out the grounds, and I'll leave a link below with more information. One of the things I really wanted to do was stop by this local cheesemonger shop and buy lunch. So I got, like, they call it the Scottish platter, so it's all locally made cheese, some apples that they just got in this morning that they said were really good, and then just some like crackers just to give me a little bit of crunch. So I'm gonna take my purchases and head to the hostel for an early lunch. You'd be surprised what you can get done if you wake up just early enough to beat the majority of the crowds. You can probably move through a lot faster. Final meal in Scotland was delicious. I went to the famous steak and mussel bar recommended by my guide from my food tour. Absolutely phenomenal. A bowl full of mussels, and then I got some barbecued pork ribs and a prawn, and they gave you a free oyster to start the meal, and then of course I ended it with some hot chocolate and sticky toffee pudding. It was delicious, and it was really funny because they sat me next to the window facing out, and there was a menu just to the side of it, and so a ton of people kept coming up to the menu, and then they would like watch me as I'm eating, and so I just made sure to like just deadpan straight into their eyes while I'm eating, just to make it a little awkward. I didn't know what else to do, but I'm right next to the St. Giles Cathedral, about to go back to my hostel, shower, pack everything up, because tomorrow I am flying to Ireland. We'll see you there.